After the series kicked off on Saturday at Interlagos, the Formula Drivers Challenge proceeds with round two at the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. Welcome everybody to Apex Racing TV and the Young Drivers Smoothly channel for this, the second race out of 14 rounds here in the Dallara Formula 3 car. Hello everybody, I'm Andrew Woodhouse alongside Alessandro Dalladone, and Alex Simpson is doing the cameras for us today. Alessandro, we're here at Spa. The first round at Interlagos did provide some great racing. We had a great battle for the lead, didn't we? And hopefully this is going to continue here tonight.
Yeah, 100%. I'm sure that we're gonna have a very, very good time also here on the hills of Spa-Francorchamps, a track which is very, very tough for the equipment and the drivers, where slipstreams and also a bit of uh, working with people is gonna be key to get a nice result in this race.
Yeah, and potentially in the qualifying session as well. If any drivers decide they want to help each other out, they may well be giving each other slipstreams down the long straights here. Oh, actually, no, it's long qualifying, isn't it? What am I talking about? We'll scratch that bit off. We can edit that out. Don't worry about that. It's not as if it's live or anything. But yeah, long qualifying means the drivers do get the track to themselves. And Alessandro, it showed at Interlagos that really does help because you don't have to worry about the traffic. You just concentrate on your lap.
Yeah, for sure. This car is very, very difficult to drive, especially with cold tires. Here on Spa, maybe it's a bit easier being a 7 kilometers long track. Obviously, you have much more time to put a banker lap in and try to push in the last few. But at the same time, you need to be very, very careful about off track and track limits because on this track are very, very tough.
Yeah, and we're looking at Lorenzo Colombo, the man who won the race at Interlagos, and he'll be hoping to make it 2 out of 2 in this Formula Drivers Challenge. Great to have everybody with us today, this afternoon on the channel. We've been really appreciating all the support recently as we head towards 10,000 subscribers. Don't forget, give us a like if you enjoy what you see. Subscribe to the channel as well. Go on, it doesn't cost you anything. Press that button and then press the bell icon as well if you want notification of when all our videos go live. The Formula Drivers Challenge is 14 rounds spread over about 3 weeks. So you do not want to miss any of the rounds if you want to keep up to date with what's going on. We're on board with Lorenzo Colombo then as he goes down the Kemmel Straight, or goes up the Kemmel Straight in fact, into Lecom. Takes a lot of the curb on the inside. Look at that. Got to be careful you don't bottom out on there. You can easily unsettle the car into Malmedy here. Right-hander. Use the curb on the outside into Rivage down the hill. Right-hander. Do not want to let the car. The car will try and understeer. Don't want to let it run too wide. Shortest route is the best route into the corner with no name on Liège, as they call it sometimes, and down the hill towards Pouin. Very, very fast corner here. The left-hander takes the curb on the outside for the maximum entry, throws it in, clips the curb on the inside, clips the curb on the outside, comes back across, and now will hold the left-hand side of the circuit into the Fagnes chicane. First of all, right-hander, flick it down a couple of gears, turn it in, don't take too much curb, you don't want to unsettle the car, you want to avoid the curb completely on the left-hand side, use somewhere on the right, and into Stavolo. Stavolo is very tough, but it is nicely cambered. Don't want to run too wide and compromise the exit because you're going to need all that speed going through curve Paul Frere and along this long flat out section. And you can see the speedometer on the screen, over 140 miles an hour for this Dallara F3 car, building to 150, 155 for Blanchimont, flat out, foot flat, pin to the fore. And you want to spot the braking point on the left hand side for the bus stop chicane. Down a lot of gears, slowest corner on the corner, just 50 miles an hour. And then you want the exit to be good. The line comes up quite quickly here at Spa. Shortest route to the line, stay on the right-hand side. Across the line then for Lorenzo Colombo. And he goes fastest so far. We've just had the 3 times though. But that, Alessandro, was an impressive start.
Yeah, for sure. Colombo has shown also in the first round in Interlagos to be one of the fastest drivers in the field, and obviously is trying to do a repeat of what happened 2 days ago, getting pole position and also the win. Do you want to go a bit through the field on the results of race one, Andrew, maybe to give a little bit of information to the newest viewers on APS Racing TV about this championship?
I would if I had them.
I'll go through for you. Don't
Put
worry.
me on the spot there with that one, mate.
I,
I would have done. I promise.
I just took a screenshot about them because I knew probably somebody, as
You know,
we had in the chat, was gonna ask it.
I knew it was going to happen as well. I nearly went and did the same thing myself, and I didn't. I thought, no, we'll be all right. And then, of course, I got asked that. Ah,
Yeah, so Colombo in the 53 car today won and got also pole position in Brazil, followed by Ulysse De Pau, the British F3 driver, and Dennis Hauger in the 6 car, which is now in second also in this qualifying. Then Jeff Crawford, Kai Askey closed up the top 5. Alex Inesov, Jonathan Hogarth, Bent Viscal, the Japanese driver Ritmo Miyata, ninth place, and to close the top 10, Lorenzo Ferrari, the Italian F4 driver. These 10, mm, outside looking, there is also the Sim Racing Car Champions of Season 1, Sam Kuiter, the only non-F3, F4 driver in the field today. He
yeah, and
was
he showed
top
very,
10.
very, very, very well in practice as well. He was very, very quick indeed. Actually, the fastest driver in practice was Sam Quita. So we'll see how he gets on. In this one, Alexei Nesov's gone up into the top 3, and Franco Colapinto. Now he's one to watch because he was on the front row in Interlagos, and he didn't last the first lap. So we will see if he can do any better today. Josh Mason, who performed well in the race at Brazil, he is currently down in 20th place, so he's struggling for that qualifying pace.
Yeah, for sure. Colapinto is gonna try to redeem himself and make sure he's gonna get through lap one unscathed. And as we saw here in the first few laps of qualifying, he's gonna try his best and make sure that today his 43 car is gonna be up top also at the end, fighting for the win.
We're looking at Dennis Hauger then. He's going to start his fast lap. And you can tell that because he took the wide entry through the bus stop chicane, sacrificed this particular lap, and you see 4 seconds slower. So just cooling the tyres down a little bit, being a little bit cautious. And then he was warming them up again right at the start of the lap as he goes through La Source and on the run down the hill towards Eau Rouge and Radion. Flicks it left up the hill, very steep climb. Car gets very light on the top there, but these F3 cars fairly more moderately paced, probably slightly easier, I don't know. Not really been through there myself in one. Alexei Nesov with the fastest third sector, Colapinto then fastest ahead of Colombo, then Quinta, then Nesov, then Hauger is currently in 5th, but the Norwegian driver is on a lap, and he looks tidy so far, Alessandro.
Yeah, it's gonna be very packed. The first 15, 20 drivers for sure are gonna be very, very close. So any tenth, any corner, you have to be 100% precise. Don't make any mistake because it's gonna cost you a lot in qualifying. And as we saw in Interlagos, it's very, very important to start in the first 4 or 5 rows. Otherwise, you can caught up in some mid-pack accidents, which tend to happen with open wheelers, and especially with such a big grid.
Ulysse De Pau goes up into 2nd place, 211.88, so he's nipped on the front row there.
And we see the 16 car of Sebastian Estner, the Euro Formula Open driver, crossing the start-finish line and improving his time to P11.
Yeah, that's good for Esner. He started at the back at Sao Paulo, so hopefully that will provide a platform for him to go, maybe try and challenge in that top 10. We're looking at Isaac Blomqvist of Sweden, and he goes 16th, 212.319. Time's very, very close though, Alessandro. Just 1 second covering the top 27 drivers in qualifying. They all, because they do race a lot of the single-seater formula in Europe, um, and abroad, sometimes come to this circuit for races. So a lot of them are very used to it.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be even more closer than what we had at Interlagos 2 days ago. And it's gonna be interesting to see also how these drivers approach qualifying because I might have seen a few drivers entering pit road again and coming out for another run. Meantime, others are trying to do four straight laps, maybe using the warm tires at their advantage. So maybe also this strategy is gonna pay evidence in the end of this qualifying session.
Quita, the karting champion, goes in fourth place. He's only 3.5, well, 35 hundredths of a second, sorry, off of pole in fourth place. We're looking at Callan Williams, the Australian. Yeah, your eyes do not deceive you. There are two C. Williams next to each other on the timing screen. This is Callan Williams of Australia, and the other one is Carter Williams of the United States. David Schumacher can't improve, just stays 33rd. Well, Paley, then Sam Paley, the American, goes 29th. And Jose Garfias, the Mexican, goes up into 23rd. Josh Mason up to 26th place. And we're looking at Williams then across the line. What can he do? Where can he put himself? And that's a very good lap indeed, and puts him into 13th position. So well inside the top 15. We said, Alessandro, if you're going to win the race or have a chance at the podium, have a chance at that bubbly at the end, you're going to have to try and get in that top 15. And I think that's exactly what Williams has done.
Yeah, he has done a very good job, especially here with turn one or Rudy Radiglioni in the long straight. We've seen a lot of accidents in the past years in all kind of cars, especially in open wheel cars. It's so easy to just move a little bit on the right or on the left and have a contact, and this contact may then collect plenty of people. So it's always very important to be upfront, especially in these shorter races with half an hour at disposal to the drivers, where everybody is going to be very aggressive from the start.
Yeah, the painful reminders this circuit's given us over the past couple of years of exactly how tricky and how dangerous the first laps can be. We're looking at Martins, then Victor Martins of France, and he's impressively got up into the top 5. He's looking at another lap here. He's gone green in sector 2. The green on the timing screen, that means personal best lap for him. If it goes purple, which you'll be looking for, it will be a fastest sector out of anybody as he turns in to Stavolo. It's nice and tidy, not wanting to commit too much because he doesn't want to compromise the exit, because it's such a key part of the track, this. And he stays all the way to the right hand side because it is the shortest route. There is no real advantage trying to be too fancy in this part of the circuit. Through Blanchimont, easy flat, isn't it? In these F3 cars, they do have a lot of grip, they do have a lot of downforce. Hard on the brakes, then into the bus stop. He just needs to keep it clean here. Maybe caught a bit of the sausage curb. It's a little bit squirmy on the exit, but he does punch out of there with nice traction and nice force to the line then for Martins. And he does improve actually, Alessandro, but only stays fourth.
Yeah, very minor improvement, but though it was a very good qualifying session for Martins. Meantime, Beckhauser is crossing the start-finish line and is improving a little bit, but still in 37th position, last of the qualified drivers. Only Oliver Goethe, the Danish F4 Spain driver, hasn't managed to score a valid lap time in this qualifying session.
Yep, and 37 drivers, yeah, as you said, make up this grid here at Spa. And uh, Oliver Goethe, has he finished his laps in
He is still running around. It's completing his fifth lap now. Just doing some
so
practice,
he's just
making
practicing.
sure he gets plenty of track time before the start.
Well, as the qualifying session comes to an end, then we'll shortly be able to provide you with the starting grid, and it will be a mouth-watering one, that is for sure. And for those who are new to the series, well, welcome. This is the second round, and go back and watch the one at Interlagos as well later on if you want to see what happened there. We've got a 30-minute race for you, one race only, and here's how they'll line up. Lorenzo Colombo on pole position, the Italian ahead of Franco Colapinto, who starts second for this second race in a row. Dennis Hauger is third alongside Victor Martins, with row 5 being a Benelux affair with Sam Kuytet and Ulyss De Pauw. Victor Anderson in 7th with Jack Crawford in 8th, Alexei Nesov in 9th, and Hugo de Vilde in 10th. Quinlan Lau in 11th with Pierre-Louis Chauvet in 12th. 13th is Callum Williams with Sebastian Essner alongside him. And the next row is Isaac Blomqvist and Bart Horston. Simon Sykes and Kai Askey make up row 9 with Matthias Soler-Obel and Ben Viscal on row 10. Lorenzo Ferrari is 21st, Carter Williams is 22nd, 23rd is Joey Alders with Francesco Pizzi in 24th, Gregoire Saucy in 25th, Jose Garfias 26th, 27th Rui Andrade with Ritmo Meata in 28th. He'll be looking for a better run through the field again. Josh Mason 29th and 30th Konstat Lapalainen. Oliver Petrovic in 31st, Sam Paley in 32nd, 33rd, Javier Loveras, Ivan Peklin in 34th, David Schumacher in 35th, Belen Espinar in 36th, and Tom Beckhauser. And Oliver Goethe of Denmark starts in 38th and last place. Well, got a great setting for a race here, Alessandro, and if you give us a quick word of who you think your money's on?
Well, Colombo has been showing his masterclass so far in the first few rounds, but we are getting ready for the green light.
Here we go then. 5 red lights above the drivers. And the lights are off, the race is on. The Formula Drivers Challenge at Spa is underway, and Colombo makes a good start. He takes the wide line, he doesn't want to be challenged into La Source. Too wide in the centre there. Is everyone behaving themselves in the background? Yeah, a few people running wide and taking the Raikkonen line, and there is a crash in the middle of the field. I think it might be Soler-Obel and it might be Kai Askey who may have come to grief there as they go through Eau Rouge and Radion for the first time. Colombo being challenged hard then by Colapinto, who's looking to go a little. I think he's already gone further than he did in Interlagos, and he's bump drafting, he's pushing the Italian down the straight. Will that affect his braking into Lecombe? I wonder. Colapinto is going to have to ease off the back of him into the corner, but he's making sure that Victor Martins does not get alongside him and ruin his day so far. Hauger in 4th ahead of Ulyss De Pauw, and a good start, Alessandro, pretty good. Just the one incident it looks like.
Yeah, very clean start, only a little contact there. Meantime we see Ferrari dropping back in the mid pack, and
yeah, Ferrari and Essner as well. I think they've both had I think there's been a sizable issue possibly for them.
So Colapinto also go very wide, almost collecting the bar, but trying to get even more speed out of the corner. But he's staying second place, trying to stay in the slipstream of Colombo, which is gonna lead us now onto the back stretch and another run to the bus stop.
Oh, wide for Colombo, and that's going to hurt him. It's going to hurt him all the way through that last sector. It's exactly what I said in qualifying. You can't be too adventurous there, because you can't make a mistake, because you will lose speed all the way to the bus stop chicane. They may go side by side through Blanchimont here. Hold your breath, lads, and see where that takes you into the final corner of the lap. Then the bus stop chicane. Colombo trying to seize the advantage back from Colapinto. He breaks very late. Colapinto tries to go around the outside. They bang wheels, but they just get away with that, I think, this time. Although he's run wide and he's tagged Victor Martins. Martins is around. And there's cars, broken cars, stricken on the grid area.
Yeah, very unfortunate event there. Very small contact. Not a lot of space where he could end up. But nevertheless, Colombo leading also this event so far. No mistakes in the first lap, which was not the case in Interlagos, and trying to pull away.
Yeah, and we've seen a few issues, quite a few cars in the pit lane as well. So yeah, already some issues for quite a few. Yeah. Williams into the pits then, it looks like. And here we go. Back with me then. DePaul is in second place and Sam Keitet in third. He's looking to try and push hard then to make his way through into second place and chase after Lorenzo Colombo, who's looking to do the double. So far in the Formula Drivers Challenge, he took the win at Interlagos. And here's a replay of what happened coming out of the bus stop chicane, Alessandro.
Yeah, drivers trying to get as much speed as possible out of the chicane, and I think Colapinto touching Victor Martins there on the rear wheel started all that chaos, but good start, not such a good first lap in the end. A lot of cars sitting on pit road now. Meantime, we see the Formula Renault Euro Cup driver Colombo trying to get a bigger gap because still with 1 second lead, draft is gonna play a bit part in Ulisse De Pau challenge to get back to the 53.
It was Hauger who just got clipped as well coming out of that accident at the final corner. And he hit the wall quite hard, so he looks like he's dropped down to 20th place. Don't know if he can rejoin the race. He's currently in the pits, I think. Now, Sam Keitet then, SRKC double champion, as you can see here. Is he going to be pushing DePaul down the back straight? He is indeed. There's already some traffic going forward, and the drivers did mention the other day they're not used to this traffic so much. And what a battle this is. Viscal and Lal Chauvet and De Vilde into Malmedy then for Viscal and Victor Anderson, really close together. It's the back for sixth position on the circuit.
All around the field, now looking for a battle for P6, but also behind them a lot of people fighting, groups forming early on in this race. And as we saw in these last few days where we had the chance to watch plenty of open wheel, the curb, the famous curb on the outside. Very, very dangerous and collecting other victims.
Yeah, and it looks like, let's see exactly. I was looking at the timing screen, so sadly I saw just the aftermath of it. It's Javier Claveras. Oh, he just hit the bump. Oh man, there's nothing he could have done. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, unfortunate.
And who's that? Number 20, Victor Anderson. Just a passenger, absolute passenger. Nothing either of those drivers could do. We have to stress that about that accident.
That bump is very, very dangerous, and if you haven't driven a lot around this track, you wouldn't know about it. I guess a real race driver, plenty of these drivers probably already drove around Spa-Francorchamps, also in real life didn't expect
I don't even think I've seen that bump before.
Bump. Yeah, it's very, very dangerous.
Oh, it's a big one! Colapinto! Was it Nesov? Was it Schumacher? It might have been Schumacher, actually. It looks like they've got away with it, though. It looks like, well, Schumacher might have got away with it. Colapinto, I'm not so sure.
Yeah,
he's got all sorts of problems.
Yeah, he entered the pit road to fix his car, to get the fast repair, the reset, which is available to all drivers to join the race after major incident without having to repair all the damage. And now he's gonna have to drive with a damaged car for sure for the rest of the race.
He was very lucky that didn't end his race. But and Sam Keitet then, he's just behind Ulisse De Pau. And they are just reeling in Colombo just a little bit. Yeah, seen some good
lap times for Colombo. Same lap time for Colombo and De Pau, so very, very similar pace. And Sam Kuiter, as we saw yesterday in the F3 Masters on at Zandvoort, always up front, trying to see what he can do, if he can get an attack on Ulisse De Pau. and very, very careful driving, trying to use all the space available on the racetrack and even more, as we always do at Spa, and seeing what they can do with Jack Crawford a bit behind, struggling to keep up with the pace of the top three drivers.
Still a good start for Crawford as we're on board with Sam Quita. He's pushing again, look, on Depau. And I don't know if that's a karting technique or not. Not recommended in these cars, that's for sure, but possible maybe.
Needs some practice. You can do it, but it's not recommended because
Oh,
not a
wide.
lot
He's
of.
gone wide, Depau. Depau's wide. And that means that Quita then has a really, really good run down the hill. Oh, here we go. I thought we were going to see the classic move there. Webber and Alonso move into Eau Rouge. And once again, then Quita is just. Is he going to try and make a move, or is he just trying to get?
I think
Just
he's
trying to push the luck with Colombo.
try to help him with everything he's got. But unfortunately, it's not NASCAR where bump drafting is actually giving you a lot of speed.
Maybe
He's
a
trying
10th
his
or
best.
so, but that was really it.
I guess if we ask real pro drivers on iRacing that manage this car, and for sure there will be some advantage, but I don't know if it's really, really worth it.
Bump drafting can often end in disaster. We've got a man doing our cameras who knows that. We had somebody decided to bump draft him in the middle of the 24 hours of Le Mans, and of course that ended really well for all involved. And it's just what we needed at about 4:30 in the morning as well, I think. Martins then is here in car 92. And he's chasing down Alexei Nesov. Nesov was impressive in the last race. He finished in 5th position, I believe, in the first round. And yeah, Nesov started 9th. He's had a bit of a scrappy one so far, but he's still in the race. Unlike, I'll be honest, most of the field, probably half the field, have really struggled in this one. And some issues. Oliver Goethe of Denmark, though, Alessandro, he started in 38th place, right in the very, very back. He's actually up to P12.
Yeah, obviously, with all the chaos developing in the midfield, Oliver Goethe, the young Danish driver competing in Spain in the F4 series, has made up a lot of places, considering that almost everybody behind him had to have at least a trip down pit road to use the fast repair, the reset, and join back the track. Like Nesov and Martins are doing a fantastic recovery drive while battling each other now.
Yeah, and we can
Right.
see, and oh, that's Martins around the outside then of Nesov. And so Martins, yeah, as you mentioned, then recovering as this battle for second rages on. Depau has to yield this time, and Quita is through into second place.
Yeah,
Good
a
work by the Dutchman.
nice Benelux fight in between the two Belgian and Netherlands drivers. Sam
Um,
Kuiter, maybe now he can step up a little bit the pace. We will see.
Schumacher did have to come into the pits then after that altercation with Colapinto. And so he's in then, is David Schumacher. Loveris Kayaski's in, as we mentioned. I think they might be back out on the circuit actually after a fast repair. Simon Sykes is, I think he's in the middle of a tow, possibly. He might have just come into the pits as well. Rui Andrade, Gregoire Saucy, and Joey Alders, they're also in. Carter Williams has been in, I believe, for his stop as well. So a lot of attrition going on here. You sometimes expect it on this circuit. Some people will always push the envelope on the first lap. And Colombo then has now got a real challenge on his hands because Sam Quita in second position. He is going to try and really step the pace up now that he's into second place.
Yeah, for sure. We can see here the gap between Colombo and Kuiter. increasing slightly every lap from 1 second lap 1 to almost 1.7 in lap 5. And as you can see here, even though Kuitert had to make the pass on the POW, he gained 3 tenths, part of the slipstream. Maybe he has some pace more than the Belgian driver. We will see in the next few laps he can really in Colombo around
Just
1 second.
just another couple of tenths, really, 3 or 4 tenths. And he'll start getting the real benefits of a slipstream himself, will Quita. So we're going to see this fight develop, I think, in the second half of the race. We've just had just under 14 minutes of this 30-minute event. And Jack Crawford is going to be a dark horse for this one as well. He's shown some good pace so far. Nice, very nice and consistent. The leaders are maybe lapping slightly, fractionally faster, but Crawford looks very, very solid indeed. He was running just ahead of his teammate Hauger when he got involved in that accident. Lorenzo Colombo then goes on his way, still leading the way. Then 1.5 seconds is the gap with Francesco Pizzi. Has just got through on Ritmo Meata. I think Meata's had a crash, you know. I think he's towed back to the pits. The Japanese driver who did so well, I think he finished in 10th position in the first race, and we have the replay on the screen. Oh, it's just a clash of wheels. Oh my, going into Lecom, Alessandro, and that's never going to end too well, is it?
Yeah, very unfortunate. The 93 of Gregoire Saucy, the Renault Eurocup driver, was involved in that crash too. Both towed back to pit road. Let's see if they can start back their engines with the fast repair and keep running in the after the 2 minute and a half tow that usually is a bit longer than usual around here at Spa being a long track.
Yeah, maybe a miscommunication there. Who knows? Because Saucy was a lap down. Meata was on the lead lap. He'll be a lap down very shortly now after that one. Colombo comes through to finish his 7th lap. You can see him just ahead of this of the second place driver, Sam Quita, who we're looking at now. Ulysse Depau is in 3rd, and you can see him just there in the middle of this trio. Very, very good run up front. As messy as the race was further back, these drivers are certainly putting it all together and definitely giving us a great example of what this series is all about. Victor Martin sets the fastest lap then, 2:11.56. And his recovery drive, he started 4th, Alessandro. So he definitely, we knew he had the pace. He's just unfortunately wasn't able to use it.
Yeah, his pace is even better than Colombo up front, so he definitely had needs to contend for the win. But you have to keep it clean, and it's not that easy. It's rather easy and to talk about it than actually make it work. So
I think that's
for
just sim
my
racing in general. It's very easy to
yeah,
talk about it, as people have proved in the last so many weeks, but it's not so easy to actually get in there and do it. Put your money where your mouth is and put the fast laps in, and these guys certainly are trying to do just that. We're looking at Ulysse Depau in P3, and the British F3 driver is looking good at the moment. He's up 3 places from where he started in 6th. So good work. We haven't mentioned Bart Horston really at all, Alessandro. He's in 5th position, the Australian driver. He's up from 16th on the grid. There he is. He races in British F3, as you can see on the screen there, and putting in some good lap times, very similar to the leader's pace now.
yeah, great drive by Bart Austin, but let's also give some TV time also to Hugo De Vide in P6, moving up from P10, or Bent Viscal, the F3 driver who made up 13 places in the start. Then in 8th place, we also have Quinlan Lowell from the Formula Regional Americas. Everybody moving up compared to the qualifying sessions, obviously due to the attrition race we had so far in this event. But as we can see here, Oliver Gote, P11 at the moment. He is the biggest mover of the race. Started dead last after not getting a valid time in qualifying. He is now trying to knock on the top 10, trying his best here using every single bit of the track.
I think he's the last driver running who hasn't had any problems. I think it's fair to say. I think everybody behind Gota has been in the pits been in the pits or had damage or at least a spin or two. De Vilde is not one of them. Of course, he's running ahead of these guys in sixth position, and yeah, looking pretty good actually. Manu drives in the Formula Renault Euro Cup, and Belgian driver in Belgium. Two Belgians in the top six actually here.
This series obviously is a collection of a lot of drivers coming from every kind of places. We see mostly European drivers, but also people coming from South America, the US, Asia. This is a series uh, built to give obviously people who do not have any real racing to watch from the drivers for the fans. So obviously this is a nice opportunity for these young drivers to show themselves on our screens, and obviously they are trying to get the best out of it, and that's why we see such an amazing racing, at times also aggressive. But if you don't dare, you'll never get success, isn't it, Andy?
That is true. I think that I would have expected maybe a little bit more caution at the start. Not going to lie, from the drivers, especially in the midfield to the front, to the sort of upper midfield. But the guys at the front have done a great job so far. I think the top six that you can see. In fact, all the guys we mentioned down to 11th who haven't had to come into the pits have done a fantastic job out there of keeping the nose clean and driving the consistent laps. Jack Crawford's been very consistent so far, and you can see how he's closing in with the slipstream. He's going to get some overspin, he may be in the ballpark for a move, not quite, though it would take a very, very long home run to reach that position, but not quite yet for Crawford. He will get there, I'm sure, into a position to fight very, very soon with Depau.
Yeah, for sure. Crawford trying to look up onto the inside, but obviously it's not that easy. Carrying so much speed through the corners and using even more than the track usually. It's very complicated to pass people in this middle section. Obviously, the big, long stretches are helping to get passes done, as we see here.
Speaking of it,
Anderson passing the Danish driver Goethe
yeah,
for
good work by Anderson.
P13.
Good work by Victor Anderson. He's moving back up after the problems he had at the start. He started in 7th. He went all the way down through the field, and now he's back up to 13th. So good work by him. Francesco Pizzi continues his charge up the field. Actually, he's in P10, up from 24th on the grid. But this is the battle for 3rd. But we see on the screen right now, Colombo's lead is 1.7 seconds, and it's 1.3 seconds to this battle that we're seeing here. Elise Depau of Belgium, Jack Crawford of the United States. And coming through out of the bus stop, this is the key, really, Alessandro, is that dealing with the lap traffic is going to be very, very important.
Yeah, for sure. As we saw in Interlagos or yesterday in the F3 Marshall Zandvoort, traffic is gonna be very important. Here at Spa, maybe we weren't expecting that traffic because it's a track almost twice long as Interlagos, so also maybe the driver didn't expect a lot. But with the attrition we had, for sure, traffic is gonna impact in a good way or in a bad way the race of our drivers. Meantime, we see Crawford around the
Look at this.
outside. Will he make this stick? Yes,
Oh,
he
yeah,
does.
he does. That's great. That's very, very good from Jack Crawford. It was decisive, it was precise, and it was effective up to P3 then. And you know what that means, everybody. You don't need me to tell you. That's Colombo in the lead then. 1.9, just 2 seconds just Quito was actually slightly quicker on the previous lap by 100th of a second, but not enough to make any meaningful inroads with just under 7 minutes to go here.
Yeah,
Colombo,
Colombo.
Alessandro, he's doing everything right at the moment.
Yeah, a very good drive, a solid drive, no mistakes so far. Definitely a big improvement compared to Interlagos, where he had to come back through the field after making some mistakes lap one early phase of the race. So he's gonna look very, very good for this championship. He's establishing himself as the driver to beat so far in these few rounds we had here on Apex Racing TV.
Yeah, I think you're right, and it's a great start. 2 victories is a really, really great way to get the campaign going. But it is a long championship. You know, we've got a lot of rounds in a lot of different places, a lot of tracks which, you know, they're going to suit different drivers out there. I was just looking at the schedule before we came on earlier on, and we've got the next round is going to be on Wednesday at Barcelona, and then we go to Circuit of the Americas on the 8th, Brands Hatch on the 9th, Phillip Island on the 11th, Charlotte Motor Speedway on the 13th. 15th is going to be Suzuka, 16th at the Nürburgring, the 18th of May at Imola, the 20th at Silverstone, Zandvoort on the 21st, Sebring on the 23rd, and then the series concludes at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve on the 24th. But here we go, this is the battle for 6th, and it's heating up as De Vilde coming to defend, but he can't really defend from Ben Viscal at the moment. Viscal, is he going to clear him before Lecombe? Yes, is the answer, I think. Just.
Yeah, a similar pass to what we saw the last lap with Crawford and De Pau. In the meantime, I think De Pau got Crawford again, and he
Oh, he
got
did.
back to P3 in the meantime. We didn't catch it, and Crawford is still losing a little bit of time. He's almost half a second behind him.
Here's the
Let's catch
replay
a
then.
replay of that.
De Pau, good slipstream. It's exactly what we thought it would be. Big slipstream down the long Kemmel Straight. And a nice easy move there. Very similar move actually, in terms of the result anyway, for De Pau getting up into 3rd and ahead of Crawford. Crawford having to do that work again, but he seemed to relish the challenge last time. We'll see if he can do it again. This is allowing Bart Horston to get within 1.7 seconds then. Don't know if he's got enough time left to bridge that gap, as Crawford's only 2/10 behind De Pau now, going through the final sector.
Let's remember also to the viewers that this series is running a fixed setup, so everybody is running on the same setup. So it's driver skills, only brake bias can be changed. So every track we have the same setup for everybody. So obviously you can't gain more on the corners or on the straight. Everybody's running the same aerodynamics, same shocks. So it's all about the driver skills here.
Well, that last lap might well be the decisive blow in this contest, as Colombo pulled out another 4/10 of a second on Sam Quintet. So Lorenzo Colombo up to 2.4 then in the lead, but it's Jack Crawford and Ulysse De Pau. We'll see what they can do. See if De Pau can defend this one this time. He doesn't move across, and Crawford's just going to sail past on the inside. I think De Pau knows he's kind of powerless on the straight, and maybe he's going to wait for the final lap, Alessandro, and see if he can mug him up the straight again.
Yeah, for sure. And we also have to consider that it's a 14-round championship and every point counts. So maybe the power is also looking a bit forward and trying to keep a decent point scoring position, don't jeopardize his good run, and try to play long term. Uh,
It's a really good point actually. He's seen what's happened to a lot of the drivers in the first few laps, some of whom would be potentially challenging for the championship, and yeah, he won't want to join them in the bin on 0 points. So, or at least on not very many points. Sam Quintet that is coming through the final sector to probably, oh, I think this is going to be the final lap actually. Colombo is, sorry, the next lap will be the final lap is what I meant. Sorry, the white flag will come out when they cross the line this time, as it is 2 minutes 11 seconds around here, and we've only got 1.5 minutes to go. Yeah, again, Alessandro, time flies when you're having fun, mate. It seems to have gone very, very quickly, this one.
Yeah, for sure, because we had always along all the field, a lot of battles, nice racing, even though the field obviously split up in many groups due to a lot of accidents, but nevertheless, the Dallar F3 never disappoints, always very, very wheel-to-wheel racing.
Yeah, here's we're going to get some more wheel-to-wheel racing, I think, before this one's over. Maybe this is what DePaul was thinking then. Oh my word, I don't know how he's envisioned that gap appearing, but it did indeed. Crawford's into the slipstream, and DePaul's having to weave around because he knows that Crawford may have the advantage. He might try to go around the outside in the comp. We know that that's not usually done, but he gives the space to DePaul. This is brilliant racing. Crawford tries to get the switch back to make a move down into Rivage as they plunge down the hill. You can't really go around the outside here as it's such a tightening radius, but then into, if you get a good run through this left-hander here, you may be able to challenge into or maybe out of Puon. That's quite a good overtaking spot in these single-seaters.
Yeah, but don't forget about Bart Hort, who came back on the group, and he might try to get something out here, because if they fight really, really hard, we have the bus stop at the end. It's gonna be very, very interesting, because he maybe can still have a look at third place if he's very lucky. Now we see how much the slipstream will help Crawford, but I think it's a bit too far.
How many times have we seen drivers sit behind a battle though and get rewarded when they come together at the bus stop chicane? So we'll see if they do that. Um, let's see if there's a move here. Lorenzo Colombo, by the way, is going to come across the line. He's pretty much at the start-finish line. He's going to take the win here at Spa in round 2 of the Formula Drivers' Challenge. It's going to be 2 from 2 for Colombo. Here we go. Across the line he comes. He takes the checkered flag to take the win. Sam Quintet then into second, and it's all sorted itself out behind Ulysse DePaul, Jack Crawford, Bart Horston on the final lap. Horston got very, very close in the end. Fiscal in 6th, De Vilde 7th, Lal 8th, Chauvet in 9th, and then it will be most likely Pizzi in 10th. And here is Francesco Pizzi, but what a finish for the top 5. Alessandro, we'll see if we can go back and maybe just have a look and see if there were any attempts on that last lap.
Yeah, for sure. The big move of the race was from the powder, where he envisioned this gap that nobody saw apart from him. But let's also gave compliments to Crawford, because I think Crawford there managed to move a little bit on the left, avoiding contact. Because if he didn't move, I don't know if they actually could have made it.
I'm not sure either, to be honest. I think it would have been very, very close. We're going to see, I think we're going to get the replay here of the final. Oh, this is the move, isn't it? And there it is. So, yeah. So that's the move there, Alessandro. And he really just found, so I wouldn't have dared go there, I don't think, but he did, and it worked.
Well, it's the last lap. Considering that they have been racing each other all the race long, Ulysse De Pau probably understood that Jack Crawford was looking a bit to save his equipment, don't crash the car in this race, and dared the most in a place where I think nobody would ever tried such a pass, such a daring pass.
I think that I was more impressed with how they dealt with it through the comp, being pretty much side by side and giving a lot of space, being very respectful, at the same time aggressive. And
Yeah.
we're going to see very shortly what happens when they go through this final sector. And I wonder if Crawford tried anything or he was close enough maybe to try something into the bus stop. But it looks like DePau managed to get a good. He didn't get a great run, did he, through Paul Frere? So yeah, let's see.
Seems like he's a bit too far from the POW. Maybe he could have closed a little bit here, coming to the fast left-hander, but still
He's
it's
got
been
to have a go, hasn't he? He's got to have a go. Does he make an attempt? A lot of weaving going on. He does try and go around the outside, or maybe tries to get the big. Yeah, he
he
was just
tried.
being careful. He was being careful, and rightly so. That's what got him that fourth place, Alessandro. I don't think he wanted to throw that away on the final corner,
Yeah, for
and
sure,
rightly
for
so.
sure. Good racing though. Very, very good racing.
Very, very good indeed. Yeah, and here is the finishing order. Lorenzo Colombo takes the win by 2.8 seconds. Sam Quita then in second place for the Netherlands. Ulysse de Pauw in third on home soil, ahead of Jack Crawford, as we saw Bart Hossen in fifth. Bent Viscal, another good race from him, into sixth. If he can sort his qualifying out, he will do very, very well in this series, I think. Hugo de Vilder in seventh place, Quinlan Lal in eighth, Pierre-Louis Chauvet in ninth, Francesco Pizzi in 10th, Victor Martins 11th, 12th for Alexei Nesov. Victor Anderson was 13th. Oliver Goethe in 14th and Callan Williams in 15th. Sam Paley was in 16th place ahead of Isaac Blomqvist. Ivan Pecklin, I'll put my teeth back in, is in 18th place. Carter Williams 19th, and then the cars one lap down or more. Joey Alders, Rui Andrade, Simon Sykes, Sebastian Esner, sorry, Dennis Hauger, Josh Mason, Ritmo Miata, Javier Loveras, Belen Garcia in 28th, Gregoire Saucy in 29th, Kayaski 30th, David Schumacher in 31st, Franco Colapinto again, another front row and another DNF, Oliver Petrovic in 33rd, Consta Lapalainen, Jose Garfias, Tom Beckhauser, Matthias Soler Obel, and Lorenzo Ferrari didn't make it to the finish either after finishing well in the previous round. Oh well, I wonder if we can go and get. In fact, we can. I'll see if we can speak with Alexei Nesov again. And
Yeah,
yeah,
hello.
Alessandro, if you can take it away with him.
Yeah, for sure. Alexei, very interesting race today. A very hectic start too. Even though the first few corners were all right, we had only a little contact midfield. Then everything got loose.
Yeah, sure. Not the best race for me. I had pretty good start, but then I made a mistake in bus stop and spinned, and then one driver crashed into me. I had to repair, and it was the finish of my race, to be honest. And then I was a bit nervous and distressed. I overheated my tires, made some mistakes, and so I was off my pace a little bit, but still managed to fight to beat 12, and not that bad, I think.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a short race and a long championship for sure. You always have to fight back to get some decent points, especially today where we had a lot of incidents and people having to face some difficulties. What do you think about Barcelona, the next coming track in 2 days?
Um, I think it's gonna be better for me because Barcelona is one of my favorite tracks. I couldn't prepare really well for today's race, but I think in Barcelona it's gonna be better.
Well, thank you very much. Anyone you want to thank before letting you go?
I think now it's too early for this. Thank you.
All right. Thank you,
Okay,
Alexei. This
goodbye.
was Alexei Nezov from Russia, ending the day in P12.
Yeah, indeed, and he yeah, you can tell he's a bit annoyed with that one, but I'm sure he'll be back, like he says, in slightly better form in Barcelona. We've got Carter Williams in the commentary box here again. I wonder if he's there to talk to us this time.
Yes, I'm here.
Hello. Well, Carter, 22nd on the grid, 19th in the race. It looked it looked like it was maybe slightly messy out there. Was the first few laps the real issue that time?
Yeah, the coming out of the first corner, yeah, I just the two cars spun in the middle of the track and there's literally nowhere to go. So I just
Yeah.
unfortunately, yeah, front tire came off there and then it takes, 3 minutes to get back around. So yeah, kind of a uneventful race for us, but yeah, maintained the gap to Colombo. I think he was about 17 seconds at the beginning of the race behind me. I think he ended up about 9 behind me. So obviously, still
That's
have
not bad.
some pace to find, but yeah, just really disappointing. But yeah, I mean, we'll come back stronger for Barcelona.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the case we mentioned at the top of the show that yeah, there can be a fair few accidents here, and it's sometimes just the nature of the circuit. But all in all, are you enjoying driving this F3 car on the sim?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I just can't thank you guys enough for putting this on, or Young Drivers Monthly and Formula Drivers Challenge for putting this on. It's yeah, it's a really good championship. Has a lot of really good drivers in this, and yeah, if you do well, it feels good. So hopefully we can qualify a little bit better next time and be up front.
Well, yeah. Hopefully we see you closer to the podium in the next one. Do you want to give shout outs to friends, family, sponsors, whoever?
Yeah, just thank you to everyone watching. I have it live stream on my Twitch as well. So thank you for everyone watching on there. Give me a follow at Carter Williams _official on Twitch, and you can see me live on boards during the race.
There you go. Cheap plug, never fails. Thank you very much.
Awesome, thank you.
That's all, mate. Carter Williams there, and Alessandro might have found Sam.
Yeah, a recurring driver in the last few days of Racing Apex TV. He's been everywhere.
I've been everywhere, man.
But how was this race? We see you always being very fast. Yesterday at Zandvoort, here in Spa too. What did you get from this race? A very good pace though.
Yeah, I was trying to do the work to the POW, like if he could catch Colombo, but he couldn't in the beginning, so that's when I passed. The carnage was before that in lap 2, I guess. In the last corner, there was carnage. Yeah, it was pretty easy to avoid. So from there on, when I passed the POW, I could, yeah, in that lap, I could pull away for like 0.8 seconds, so that was pretty enough to get him out of the slipstream and slowly go away from him. But to go to Colombo, he's just consistent in front, so yeah, pretty difficult to catch him.
But you have other 12th round to try to get him, and next time we head to Barcelona. We expect to see you on the podium again, I guess. We are very consistent.
Yeah, I hope so to be there again. It would be good for the championship. First round on Interlagos was not that good with a start crash and a quali that didn't go too well. So yeah, let's see what we can do in Barcelona. Not one of my favorite tracks, but yeah, it's pretty flowing track, so I like that also.
Well, for sure, we are looking forward to see you in 2 days' time. Anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, my esports team, Allied Racing Esports, of course, but for the rest, I'm totally fine.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Sam. Have a
No
nice evening.
problem, mate. Have a nice
Sam,
evening, boys.
Sam, just before you go, can I just ask you to give me a proper pronunciation of your surname, because I think I've said it 2 or 3 different ways, and I think I've got it wrong each time.
Yeah, you're not the only one man in English. In Dutch you say kuitert, but how you pronounce it?
Kite, I
Kuitert.
think.
Yeah, it's
It's
good
not
enough.
far off. Okay,
Good
good.
enough.
Yeah, well, as long as I don't make a complete idiot of myself, I think we've done all right. So thank you.
We try our best.
Close to, right? Well, have a nice
Not too
evening,
bad.
boys.
Thank you, mate.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Good. I've been wondering that for a few days. It's always nice when we get a bit of help from the drivers there. Alessandro, yet again, mate, it's an absolute pleasure to be joining you for this Formula Drivers Challenge. And what a good round we've seen. Especially the racing at the front was excellent, wasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I'm really looking forward and glad to be part of Apex Racing TV providing this nice championship. So Barcelona next time, we expect another beautiful racing evening here. And what else? Some race cars, some good drivers. We couldn't have anything better, but real racing. Unfortunately, not possible this time.
Well, that's it. And we do just want to reiterate the usual message: stay home and stay safe. And we hope everyone is keeping as healthy as they can in all this situation as it continues. But for now, everybody, we're going to bid you a fond farewell from Spa. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching here tonight on the Apex Racing TV channel here. I've been Andrew Woodhouse with Alessandro Dalladone. Alex Simpson has provided the camera work for you tonight. So thanks to him. And thank you, everybody, for watching. And we'll see you next time at the Circuit de Catalunya. Good night.